Democratic Party. For those of you who may not know, I am Nikita Jackson, the Councilwoman Nikita Jackson, the chair of the York County Democratic Party, and I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome to our 2026 York County County Convention. Thank you so much for taking time to come out and discuss the business of York County. Thank you. I also want to say welcome on behalf of Union Baptist Church. We welcome you and thank you for coming. I officially want to call this meeting to order, this convention to order at 10:12. We apologize, but we saw you guys mingling so well together. We didn't want to disrupt that, but we didn't want to prolong the day either. So we will now start with our invocation, a moment of silence to recognize those York County Democratic Party people who are no longer with us, and just a moment of silence for the plight of the world that we are in at the moment in time. So we're going to take a moment of silence. We will now have the Pledge of Allegiance. So can we all please stand? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This year I decided to do the chair's report. Just to give a little history or background on what 2025 somewhat looked like for us here for York County Democratic Party. So I want to say I am really thrilled to see all these people in here. So I'm going to go ahead and take me a picture right now. Super excited. This morning I didn't even have the willies, and I say that because whenever you're doing the right thing for the right reason, for the right cause, if you're doing it right, you don't have anything to worry about. Everything is going to fall in place. And so with that being said, I stand here just to say I'm incredibly proud to see everyone in the room. This past year has been an amazing year for us. We've done some incredible tasks. We set a goal and we've met our goal. I'm going to say sometimes we exceeded our goal, but that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for everyone in this room, especially to our volunteers. I'm going to say, and especially to the executive board. So if you don't know who the executive board is, I'm going to ask that the York County Democratic Party executive board either stand or raise your hand, please. A lot of the things that we did this year wouldn't have been possible without the executive board, and I dare not forget our volunteers, our precinct presidents. So if you're a precinct president, please raise your hand. One of our goals was to make sure that we had our precincts organized. So we have over 100 precincts in York County. And I can truly say that we have, at the very beginning, we had almost half of our precinct organized. And thanks to our second vice chair, Hope Matthews. Raise your hand, Hope. If you don't know what precinct you live in, that's the lady to go over and find out. She can give you all that information. But one thing I want to thank Hope for, Hope took time out to have weekly calls, bi-weekly calls with precinct leaders. And if you did not jump on any of Hope's calls so that she can help guide you to how to organize your precinct, you still got time, because Hope will continue those phone calls. Please, if you don't have her information, or please give her your information so that she can connect with you, so that you can ensure that you are on those weekly, bi-weekly calls, so that you can keep your precinct engaged. The other thing that we're glad to say that we did a lot of fundraising last year that we hadn't done in a very long time. It brought some well-named people here, but it also helped raise money for the party so that we can keep the headquarters open. We are one of 10 counties in South Carolina that actually has a functioning building for headquarters, and we're very proud of that. But we would not be a successful York County Democratic Party as we are if it was not for our office managers. Hattie, Ross, and Eileen Messick, please stand. When I tell you boots on the ground, the backbone of the party, these two ladies, when I became chair, they reached out and said, how can we help? And I said, what do you want to do? And they said, well, we'll keep the headquarters open. They know what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and if they don't know, they know how to find the ways to get that information. Thank you, Hattie and Miss Eileen, for getting volunteers to come into the office, opening the doors. During the election season, the headquarters was open every single day. Hattie and Eileen have their group of ladies that come into the headquarters, help with our fundraising events so that we can ensure that we can get off with a hitch. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be where we are today. So we truly thank you, Miss Hattie and Miss Eileen, for all that you do and for their support system. They have a great, strong support system. So if you supported these ladies at the headquarters, y'all please stand so we can see who you are. And then let's talk about fundraising. So we had 3 monumental fundraisers last year. The first one was called Dessert Before Dinner, where we ate dessert before we had our dinner. And it was a fun time, I will say that. Dessert Before Dinner, we had Representative Jermaine Johnson to come to our event just to give us words. We had Forward Together, where we had a lot of candidates that came out that had an interest in running, that said that they were running, and they wanted to come out and meet York County Democrats in the area. That was a great event. We had over 150 people from the surrounding area to come out to that event. Then we had Under the Carolina Skies. That was out in Western York County. The one thing that we were trying to do as well is to connect with the Western York County, our rural areas as well. So with, sorry y'all, alarm's going on. So with that being said, we had an event at Mr. Perkins' house. He offered up his home and said, Nikita, we got to get Western York County engaged. How can we do that? And I'm ready to help. And he opened up his home to over 200 people to come out to his house for a fundraiser. And that was super exciting as well. Well, we had Bakari Sellers to be the guest speaker. So, and a damn good time. One other thing, and with the fundraising, so last year we raised $23,226 to help keep us open, to help keep us functioning. Now, I will say, we still need donations, so don't stop giving and don't stop coming to the fundraisers, because those are the opportunities that we get to meet each other, see each other, and have conversation, organize, so that we can go out here and work on what we want to, work on getting Dems elected in this area. Another, not that I'm pointing out people, but our third vice chair, Jaquarius Norman, he's in the back. So the third vice chair, they work with the 35 and under group. Jaquarius last year organized a event at Winthrop University with Winthrop College Dems, where we had about 50 to 75 people to come to that event. It was a cultural event, but we got the young students at Winthrop College engaged, and they've been volunteering at our events. They've been coming to the headquarters to help out, and they want to get involved. So we're getting young folks involved and interested in what's going on right here in York County. So when I say we are meeting our goals, we are truly, truly meeting our goals. And with that being said, I'm going to leave on this note. The one other goal that we had was we made it our business, our mission, to make sure that we had a Democrat on every ticket for the upcoming ballot. Now, I will tell you, Amy Hayes, she and I talk quite often. She's the former chair, and they say the hardest part of being the chair of the party is getting people to be on the ballot, to get on that ticket. But I will truly tell you, this time around, y'all, we came out. We came out. Let me tell you. Not only do we have candidates up and down the ballot for the primaries that's about to come up here in June, but in November, we can truly say right here in York County, I want y'all to hear me loud and clear. We will have a Democrat on each ballot, each ticket for the State House. Yes, we will, and yes, we can, and yes, we are. We are truly doing it. So y'all, with everything that I've just told you, all the accomplishments that we've made, y'all, we got to get out here and work. So I'm here to tell you, get ready to make phone calls, get ready to knock on doors, and continue to donate to the York County Democratic Party so that we can continue to move forward together. You got all these candidates right here who are over here. They're going to need your support. Talk with them, volunteer on their campaigns, donate to their campaign, but most important in all, let's get out here and grab someone and take them to the polls to vote. I charge each and every one of us, this is a charge, y'all. I charge each and every one of us to take 20 people to the polls to vote this upcoming primary and this upcoming November. York County Democratic Party, let's get out here and work. Now, with that being said, we're going to have Hope Matthews come around and talk about all these tables that we got around here. Hope, she's running.
Morning, everybody. I've never been so excited to see so many blue faces in one room at the same time. All right, just so you know, after we get over the meeting part of the meeting, of the convention, we have some resource tables set up because I know that a lot of y'all have questions about how to get organized and what to do and what kind of information do we need to get out there. So as you look around the room, we will have different tables set up. So over here, Ryan, can you raise your hand? Ryan will have a table for those of you who have questions about vote builders. We have a couple of sessions coming up that he'll let you know about, and there are some online resources for you. So see Ryan if you're interested in finding out about Vote Builder. Amber's walking around with the baby. She will also have a table over here, and I want everybody to boo and hiss about the SAVE Act. So yeah, depending on what happens with that, we need to get the word out to voters about what it means and how to keep their vote safe. So if you're interested in voter education, be sure to see Amber over here. Jaquarius is back behind the food table there. Find him afterwards if you want to know more about engaging young voters. And young is 36 and under, I believe. I know we're all young at heart. Yeah. I know that. But for young Dems, Jaquarius is our person. If you want merchandise people at the back table, wave your hand. If you're selling t-shirts, raise your hand. Yeah, t-shirts, koozies, no king signs, those are back there. Dr. Holder and I will be at a table back there. Just imagine I'm back there waving at you with information about precincts, if you need to find your precinct, if you want to find out who your precinct lead is. If you are currently a precinct lead and maybe want to question your life choices, and we have several precincts that don't currently have leadership. So if you're interested in that, please come talk to us back there. And I think I'm forgetting something. Did I? Board, help me out. I think that's it. And of course, we'll have the refreshments available too. So come find us if you have any questions about those things. Thank you.
All right, now we're into the business of the convention. We would like.
We got the same.
Okay, it's time for us to elect a convention chair. So, do we have any nominations from the floor?
We need
Okay. Okay. Motion has been made that we accept, in second, that we accept Dr. John Holder as our county convention chair for the 2026 county convention. All those in favor? Excuse me. Any discussions? Questions?
Anybody else want to do this?
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposes? So you have it. Dr. John Holder is now taking over as county 2026 county convention chair. Okay. You want to do it?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, York County Democrats. Raise your hand if this is your first York County Democratic Convention. Welcome. I've been doing this a long time, and I can't tell you how gratifying it is for me to be at a York County Democratic Convention where there are people I don't know yet. Excuse me, it's seasonal allergies. I'm not contagious. I'm John Holder. I represent you. Amber Pearson Bowen and I represent you on the state committee, the state Democratic Committee. I'm also secretary of the South Carolina Democratic Party. So I'm glad to see everybody. I'm also a political science professor at Winthrop and faculty advisor to the world's greatest chapter of college Democrats. And Jaquarius Norman, thank you. Jaquarius Norman gets a lot of credit for the work he's been doing with college Dems. We now need a convention secretary, and I would nominate from the floor Monika White. There's a second. Are there other nominations? Hearing none, those in favor of electing Monika White as convention secretary signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Congratulations, Ms. White. We now need to elect a convention treasurer, which is basically we're going to pass the buckets around and somebody needs to count the money afterwards. That's what the convention treasurer does. But we currently, we do not have a treasurer for the County Democratic Party because our treasurer had to step down. So if you are interested in serving as treasurer of the York County Democratic Party, you don't need to make a commitment right this minute, but talk to us on the board. We'll let you know what that involves. But would anyone like to volunteer to serve as convention treasurer just for today? Ms. Bowen, are you serving as treasurer? Executive Committee woman Amber Pearson Bowen has offered to serve as treasurer rather. Are there, I'll second that, further nominations? Those in favor? Those opposed? Congratulations, Ms. Bowen. Now we do have several elected officials. Yes, there are Democratic elected officials in York County. Even if it feels sometimes like we're all blueberries floating in a pot of marinara sauce. we have Democratic elected officials. And I would like to introduce the person who represents many of us in Columbia in terms of being our actual representative, but he's kind of adopted the whole of York County, all of York County Democrats, State Representative John King. We also have Rock Hill School Board member Jennifer Hutchinson with us. And we have a lot of future elected officials in this room, but we'll get to them. Are there any other elected officials here that I didn't see? No. City Councilwoman Nikita Jackson, how could I have overlooked that? That's really embarrassing that I didn't. Okay, just unscientific poll. Raise your hand if you think Lindsey Graham should be replaced. I'm not even going to call for the ayes and nays on that. We all agree on that, but there are several people who are actually doing something about it. And at least one of our candidates is here today. I haven't seen others, but she's first on the list alphabetically anyway, so I would like to introduce and invite to speak U.S. Senate candidate Dr. Annie Andrews.
Two minutes. Oh my goodness. All right, ready, everybody. Good morning, York County. I'm so happy to be here. My name is Dr. Annie Andrews. I am a pediatrician in the Charleston area. I am a mom of 3 school-age kids who go to the Charleston County School District. I am a pragmatic problem solver, and importantly, I am not, nor do I ever seek to be a career politician, but I am here today as a candidate for the U.S. Senate on a quest to unseat 23-year career corrupt swamp creature Lindsey Graham. I have spent the past 20 years working in children's hospitals, and over those years I started to understand the link between bad policies coming from failing politicians like Lindsey Graham and how they were harming South Carolina's kids and families long before they ever got to the doors of a children's hospital. So I got involved in politics to solve those problems. We could talk all day about everything Lindsey Graham has done just in the past week to embarrass South Carolina, but I'd rather tell you what kind of senator I will be. Number 1, I say what I mean and I mean what I say. Number 2, I am not afraid of a fight. And finally, children always have been and always will be my North Star. Every single vote I take when I get to Washington, D.C. will be on the side that benefits America's children. My 3 campaign priorities are going to be to fix America's broken healthcare system, fully fund the Medicaid program, protect Medicare, fund the CDC and the NIH, and impeach and remove RFK Jr. Number 2, addressing America's cost of living emergency, first by stopping the on-again, off-again tariffs. And number 3, rooting out the corruption in Washington, D.C. that is at the core of the root of everything that's wrong with America's democracy. The most important thing I want to tell you all today is that I reclaim my time from the applause. We can win this election, y'all. Next week, we're going to have some new polling data that shows in a head-to-head race. This is very, very much within striking distance, and I cannot wait to share that with you all. Number 2, because of my hard work and my team's hard work, we've raised almost $6 million already. I've outraised Lindsey Graham. And you better believe some of that money will funnel right down here to the York County Democratic Party. Lindsey Graham has been on Fox News already crying because his opponent, me, outraised him the past 2 quarters. No one will work harder to send Lindsey Graham home. So I'm here today to ask for your vote, to ask for your support, to show up in record numbers on June 9th, and finally retire Lindsey Graham. Thank you all so much.
We do have an order of candidate speeches, but there are several conventions going on today, so candidates may be coming in and out. Are any of the other U.S. Senate candidates here today? Okay, well, if they come, they will be given equal time. Now, speaking of fundraising, we're going to pass the hat to defray convention expenses. We are so the buckets are going around to defray convention expenses and help us fundraise for the party. Okay, we are waiting on our keynote speaker, so we're just going to jump ahead. He'll be great. He's in transit. Several speaking requests for him today. So we also have a race for the United States House of Representatives in this district. The good news is we're getting rid of Ralph Norman. But there's a Republican candidate to replace him. But now I'd like to introduce each of our declared candidates for the U.S. House, Congressional District 5, going in alphabetical order. Mr. Andrew Clough.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and thank you for everybody being here. Before I talk about myself, I want to talk about somebody very important in my life, because behind every good man is a better woman, my wife. My wife came over here 25 years ago from Mexico. She's an immigrant, and she's still trying to find her place in this country. She's got a court date at the end of this month, and she's worked hard, never broken the law, and raised 4 wonderful children here, one in the U.S. Army based at Fort Jackson. And yet, there's a chance that I might lose her. And that is one of the main reasons I decided to step up. Not because she's a bad person, because our immigration system is broken and needs to be fixed. My first ancestor came over in 1635, which started my family American story. But the great thing about this country is the new American stories that are started here, the people that contribute to it every day. I'm a union member. I'm working class. I work for American Airlines, but I live here in the wonderful community of Rock Hill. And I decided we need more working class people up there. We need people that understand what it's like to get up before the sun rises, that understands what it's like to pull double shifts to pay an unexpected bill. We need people here that understand what working class is going through, not these millionaires up there, because they don't understand or relate to us. We need people that understand what it's like to decide between paying a bill or paying a medical expense, because healthcare is outrageous. We need people to stand and be in the communities, because guess what? DC has forgotten about these communities. DC has forgotten what it's like to be one of the people and be here. I plan to show up in every single 10 counties that make up this district. I plan to be here and show up. So in closing here, I will say, enough is enough. Vote for Clough.
Thank you. And now we have congressional candidate Mallory Dittmer.
Hi everyone, my name is Mallory Dittmer and I'm running to replace Ralph Norman in Congress. Let me ask you a question, York County. Are you ready to finally take on and defeat the establishment that is Ralph Norman and Wes Clymer in this county? Are you ready? Are you ready to shock the hell out of the YCGOP and Moms for Liberty and Freedom Caucus? Are you ready to show the nation what South Carolina is actually made of? Because they like to say we're deep red, and we know that we are not. I call that the myth of the fifth. Ralph and his cronies, they think they've got this in the bag, but they have no idea what they are up against. In reality, Ralph Norman only won by 3% of the vote, y'all. 3%. And in reality, this community has far more fight and far more love for its neighbors than any corrupt politician has any idea what to do with. 2026 is our time. Ralph has vacated the seat, he's running for governor, and guess what? We're going to retire Ralph Norman this year. York County makes up 40% of this massive district. If we finally want to see someone in DC who is going to represent our interests, we have got to fight. That starts today all the way through November. Because the establishment, they've got a machine, right? But we need a movement to dismantle it. A movement of hope that reminds ourselves and our neighbors that we deserve real leadership. We deserve an affordable cost of living. We deserve quality, affordable health care. We deserve world-class public education. We deserve a government that works and works for us. And we deserve a representative who will actually go up there and get something done for us. So that's me. I'm a problem solver. I'm a go-getter. I wrote this speech at 10:30 last night because I decided I wasn't going to do my same old song and dance. Most of you here know me. If you don't know me, I promise you, you know someone who knows me. I'll be over here. I'm here to answer all your questions. But I did not want to waste any time. I'm a go-getter. I have the values and integrity that no billionaire is ever going to break. I'm no politician. I'm running for the right reasons. My husband and I, they're back all the way back there. We don't recognize, yes. We don't recognize the country we're raising our kids in, those sweet little kids back there. And we're running because we chose South Carolina. We chose to raise our family here. We love it here. We believe in South Carolina, and I believe in every single one of you. We can actually do this, okay? We can meet this moment, this historic moment, with a movement of hope that will cast shockwaves across the state, across the nation, across the world. Imagine the headlines. We're 40% of the district. York County Dems flip the fifth. Let's do it. All right. So, what do you think, York County? Should we go make history together? Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. Here's what we have to do. We're set up over there. We need canvassers. We need phone bankers. We need texters. We need postcard writers. We need leaders who are willing to step up and help. Please come sign up. We have an amazing team. We have 350 volunteers already on this campaign. This campaign has serious momentum, but we need every single one of us. Please volunteer. Please grab some Team Dittmer gear. Show the world that you are on this team. You are part of this movement. And please donate what you can. Okay? Because we gotta raise money in this thing, and every single one of us can do a little something. Please spread the word. Please spread the hope. Please spread the joy of this movement. And let's go do this thing. Thank you all.
Okay, we are going to jump around on the schedule a little bit. We are now electing delegates to the State Democratic Convention. That is May 30th, Saturday, May 30th in Columbia. The Blue Palmetto Dinner and the world-famous Congressman Jim Clyburn fish fry are the night before. York County is allotted 98 delegates and 20 alternates, equally divided by gender. The QR codes that were just passed out are on your tables. If you would like to be a delegate to the state convention, scan the QR code and that puts you on the list. And we will have more information after you've signed up. Everyone here is eligible to, if you have signed into this convention and you're a York County resident, you are eligible to be a delegate to the state convention. That decision is, the final list is determined by the state Democratic Party. So yeah, just if you want to go. It's a fun time. You know, we are trying to maintain our status as the first in the nation presidential primary. We are working very hard within the Democratic National Committee to make that happen. And we're going to be an early state. So we're going to get a lot of potential national candidates coming through South Carolina in the near future. And some of them will be speaking at the convention or speaking at the Blue Palmetto Dinner or the Clyburn Fish Fry. So if you want to go, you know, listen, meet a future president, perhaps, this is your chance. Any questions about state convention? We don't know where it is yet. It will be in the Columbia area. Moving on, we have on the agenda we have remarks from candidates for governor and then South Carolina Superintendent of Education. Is there anyone here on behalf of Representative Dr. Jermaine Johnson? Is there anyone here on behalf of... I'm here on behalf of me. Here is gubernatorial candidate Mullins McLeod.
2 minutes, sounds good. I got 2 minutes, so I'll be quick. My name is Mullins McLeod, and with your help, I will be our state's next governor. I want to tell you where we are, how we got there, and where we're going. Right now, the people of South Carolina have no power. The people of South Carolina have no voice. The truth is, the people of South Carolina are trapped in an incredibly corrupt political system that does not service our needs, does not represent our interest. Instead, what has happened over the last 30 years is a very corrupt political establishment has allowed for-profits and the donor class in this state to rig our laws to satisfy their own financial desires. Almost every symptom that we see, our schools have been failing our children for more than I've been on this earth. We are one of only 5 states in this country that does not have a mandatory livable wage. In rural South Carolina, having access to quality health care is oftentimes a hope and a prayer. There are people in South Carolina gainfully employed, yet they still live below the poverty level. All of these symptoms stem from one disease, and it's political corruption. The cure to that political corruption is servant leadership. My heart belongs to God, and my voice belongs to you. Now let me tell you why I'm the most uniquely qualified person to run for governor in our state's history. The last 25 years, I have done one thing in the private sector, represented someone else's interest. I have been their voice when they needed it the most. The truth is, in my career practicing law, representing people in courtrooms all over our state, my track record is unmatched in our state's history. You see, I am committed to getting the people of South Carolina to understand that we're all in this together. We all want the same things. And as long as we continue to allow ourselves to be divided by corrupt politicians and their for-profit friends, we will continue to be trapped in this system. But if we come together as one, and you elect a servant leader like me, who will do your bidding all day, every day, and twice on Sunday, guess where all the power in this state resides? With you. Now, this state has never seen that power before. But this state is going to learn in November the real power in this state belongs to those of us who live in light and walk with the truth. Thank you.
Now we move to Superintendent of Education, and Evan Lawton is here on behalf of candidate Lisa Ellis.
Good morning. My name is Evan Lawton, and I'm here on behalf of Lisa Ellis, candidate for Superintendent of Education. Lisa wishes that she could be here today. However, during the course of this campaign and for the last 25 years, Lisa has been working full-time in the classroom, and she is at a retreat for student government this weekend. To introduce myself briefly, I'm a freshman at the University of South Carolina Honors College, where I'm studying education law and policy. I am from Greenville, South Carolina, where my mom is a public school teacher and where I graduated from public schools. In 2018, Lisa founded the SC for Ed movement, which turned into a grassroots movement to reform South Carolina's public school system. Lisa was the nominee for State Superintendent of Education in 2022, and she received the highest raw vote total of any Democratic candidate, even more than the nominee for governor. In the 4 years since then, Lisa has still been in the classroom and has witnessed firsthand how the current superintendent, Ellen Weaver, has wreaked havoc on our school system. As superintendent, some of Lisa's first priorities would include ensuring that every child, regardless of their zip code, receives a quality education, ensuring that our teachers are paid a good salary, and ensuring that taxpayer dollars only go to public schools. I know that you all know a thing or two about State House representatives who are aligned with Moms for Liberty, so you know how important it is that Superintendent Weaver is voted out in November. I've placed a few palm cards on each of the tables with information about Lisa Ellis, and you're welcome to visit me back in the corner there. And I believe that given Lisa's advocacy and classroom experience, that she is the best candidate to take on Superintendent Weaver in November, and we hope to have your support in the Democratic primary on June 9th. Thank you.
And now on behalf of Superintendent candidate Sylvia Wright, we have Mr. Frank Maurizio.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Frank Maurizio, and thank you for this opportunity to talk about Sylvia Wright and why I think she should be the next State Superintendent of Education. I'm going to talk to you about Sylvia from my perspective as a relative newcomer to South Carolina. My wife and I moved to Fort Mill just a little over a year ago. Be close to our grandson, with another one on the way. And one of the first things I did was to reach out to the York County Democrats to see how to be involved. You see, I am new to South Carolina politics, but I'm not new to Democratic politics. I was very active for years in upstate New York, including 8 years as an elected official, and I was vice chair of the Hamilton County, Tennessee Democratic Party when we moved here from Chattanooga. Those experiences gave me an appreciation for the campaign Sylvia Wright has put together. She has a solid infrastructure and aggressive schedule of calls, canvasses, and personal visits that began almost a year ago. In fact, she couldn't be here today because there are 3 other county conventions she's speaking at. In short, Sylvia Wright has built a winning campaign. From an issues perspective, I spent more than 20 years working for New York State teachers unions, from pre-K through higher ed. So I recognize her as a strong voice for public education, students, families, and teachers. They all should be respected and supported. Specifically, Sylvia's plan to elevate South Carolina schools from 43rd to 1st place includes improving access to early childhood education through universal pre-K, paying educators, support staff, and child care workers a livable wage and improving their working conditions, providing students with a curriculum that fosters innovation and critical thinking, one that offers access to advanced classes, internships, and apprenticeships, and a curriculum that provides opportunities for career exploration. Finally, Sylvia supports fully funding all public schools and ending educational inequality. You can learn more about Sylvia at Write2026sc.com. I put some literature on all the tables. Please take a look. And we're planning a canvas in Rock Hill on April 11th. I'm in the back. If you could join me, come over and we'll sign you up. So fellow Democrats, Sylvia Wright is the right choice for Superintendent of Education. Please vote for her on the 9th of June. Thank you.
We now have the opportunity to adopt resolutions, which will be forwarded to the Platform and Resolutions Committee of the the state convention. So if you would like to write up a resolution, there should be a form on your table, and we're going to look them over, and we may consolidate them, because there's probably more than one precinct in here who's going to introduce a resolution to impeach Trump. I mean, if everybody wants to do that, cool, but I wish you would. But we're only going to forward one resolution of each type to the state convention, but if you'd like to write something up for us to consider, go for it. We have a resolution submitted called Same Team Resolution. Whereas Democrats share a common mission to advance justice, opportunity, and democratic values through the Democratic Party, and whereas bullying and personal attacks during primary elections divide our party and discourage strong leaders from participating in the future, therefore be it resolved that the York County Democratic Party affirms that all Democrats are on the same team and calls on candidates, campaigns, and members of our county party to conduct primary elections with respect, focusing on issues and qualifications rather than personal attacks, and to unite behind the Democratic nominee to strengthen our party for future victories. This has been submitted. Is there a second? There is a second. Is there any discussion? Good. It would be kind of ironic if we were arguing about a resolution about party unity. Those in favor of the adoption of the resolution say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted unanimously. Does anyone else wish to submit a resolution? Okay, we'll get back to it if you do have one. Now we have candidates for South Carolina House of Representatives. We are, as Chairwoman Jackson told you, we are actively recruiting somebody to be on the ballot for every state house race in York County. Are any of the candidates here? Rustin Terry from District 48, right in front of me.
My name's Rustin Terry. I'm running for South Carolina House of Representatives in District 48. That's Lake Wiley over here, North Rock Hill in the back. 2 years ago, I walked into the hospital, the Medical University of South Carolina, knowing that when I left, I would only have one kidney. And I was doing it for a stranger, somebody I'd never met, a young father and fellow South Carolinian who had recently been told that he had kidney disease and he needed a transplant. I raised my hand to volunteer. When I woke up in that hospital bed and the doctors told me that the surgery had gone well, I later walked down the hall and got to meet him, his wife, and his 3 kids for the first time. There were hugs, there were tears. What had once been a death sentence, he now had hope. Too many of us in South Carolina struggle with medical issues, medical bills, rising insurance costs. 500,000 South Carolinians, just this last January, got a letter saying that their Obamacare subsidies are going to be canceled and that their insurance premiums are going to be skyrocketing because Republicans have refused to extend the Obamacare subsidies. There is $2 billion right now sitting in Washington, D.C. with South Carolina's name on it. This is the Obamacare Medicaid extensions. But Republicans in South Carolina have refused to accept it. Boo! Boo! This would pay for our hospital bills, medications. I'm running for this office so I can go to Columbia and bring the same hope that was delivered to that young father when he got that new kidney. I'm not afraid of a fight. I'm not afraid of taking on new scars. I've got one big scar already, Let's go do this, York County. Let's go win. Thank you.
District 49, I see Councilman Perry Sutton, who is a declared candidate for House District 49.
Good morning.
Morning.
Let me tell you a quick story. 1985, I was in the United States Coast Guard assigned to a law enforcement detachment team off the coast of Dominica. There was a boat that was designed for 7 people. It had 37 people on it. We stopped the boat, we put them on our cutter, and we took them to Puerto Rico. While they were on our cutter, they told us that they had given their life savings, which for them was about $40, to come to this country, the United States of America. When we pulled into Puerto Rico, ICE came aboard, put them in plastic handcuffs. This were women, children, and a few men. Put them in handcuffs, and we asked what's going to happen to them. They're going back to Dominica. This was 1985. We still have the problem of immigration now. It has led to the problem of people dying in this country. I am Perry Sutton. I spent 30 years in the United States Coast Guard. I was born and raised in Rock Hill, South Carolina. And I'm here to help take care of any problems we have. I'm glad we adopted the clause of civility, because civility is one of the main reasons that I'm running. We have gotten to the place where we're following Donald Trump. We say and do anything that we want to anybody, no matter what. We don't care about hurting feelings. We've got to stop. I'm an advocate for children. I've been coaching youth football for 37 years. You know, we're a football city, USA, in Rock Hill. 48 NFL football players that come out of this city, 15 of them play for me. So I'm an advocate for youth. If we don't stop doing what we're doing, of how we're treating each other, we're sending them down a road that we can't come back from. My main reason is civility. My second reason is to get things here for the York County, for District 49. Let me tell you what I did do. I went to Washington when I was on city council, and I went in Lindsey Graham's office and said, hey, I've been paying taxes up to Washington for 40, 50 years. I need some money back here. You know what we got? We got the pipe that's coming out of Chester that's coming to Rock Hill so that Richburg can grow and the south side of Rock Hill can grow. I went to the other congressman up there, Tim Scott, and said, Tim Scott, people in the south side of Rock Hill have been flooding for 60 years. I need you to do something about this. I didn't go ask, I demanded it. You know what Tim Scott did? He came down here. And you know what? If you go on the south side right now, that's $13 million where we're taking care of the people of Rock Hill. We're taking care of what's going on. This is the thing. I don't care who's in those offices up there. We go get what we're supposed to get. We don't run from anybody. We're not afraid of anybody. If you elect me, I'm going to go take care of any problems we got, bring them back here, and make your lives and your children's lives much better. Thank you for your time.
And now District 49 candidate, Representative John King.
Thank you, Dr. Holder, and thank you to my family, the Democrats of York County. Let me correct one thing real quick. The pipeline that goes from York County to Chester, and I have the receipts to show you, came from South Carolina General Assembly, not D.C. Let me just say that I've served you all for the last 17 years, and I served you with pride. Let me tell you, as many of my other colleagues who are running for office have said what they will do. Let me tell you what John King has done. When I took office in 2009, Clinton College, which sits in the heart of the district in which I represent, which was then Clinton Junior College, an HBCU, got 0 state funds. Up under my leadership, they have gotten over $10 million. Let me further run on my record. North Central medical facility that sits in the heart of the district as well, that caters to people who can't afford health care. I have given them over $3.5 million to help children who suffer with sickle cell, not just in York County, but this entire region. I will never forget how I held up a delegation meeting because my district was not getting recreational funds from the delegation. And I would not budge. You remember Steve Love. I would not budge until they gave my district money and ensured that the children that I represent had equal parks and recreation that they have in any other community in York County. But let me tell you something else that I've done. Not only do I represent District 49 as the only Democrat in this county that serves in the House of Representatives, I represent each one of you every day that I go to Columbia and fight. Now let me tell you what you give up if you lose John King in Columbia. I am one of the most senior members that serve in the General Assembly. I am the highest ranking Democrat that sits on judiciary. I'm the longest serving member that serves on ethics. And I'm only of 2 Democrats that serves on higher education, which selects every board of trustee member that serves on Winthrop's board and any public institution in this state. Let me also say this to you. With my seniority, you can ask any Democrat member of the General Assembly that comes behind me. They will come to me and say, John, can you make sure my items get in the budget? So you lose a lot when you don't have seniority down there. I'm not starting from ground zero. I have worked for this community for many, many years. And for someone or anyone to say that John has not done what he's supposed to do in Columbia, and let me say this, yeah, you have seen my videos, and some people talk about civility. Go to Columbia. Let me explain to you. There's been many times that things that would hurt this community, when other people were sitting in the seat, I stopped it. My colleagues would tell you that. I respect my opponent, and I'm looking for a spirited campaign. I have nothing bad to say about my opponent, but what I will say is that we cannot, at this juncture, up under what is happening in D.C., to allow our district and York County to not receive what is due us. And what will happen from the Democrat side and what affects all of us, we will not have seniority from York County. And as you saw last week when I had my town hall meeting, my colleagues have already told you what I do in Columbia. I fight every day for my constituents and for the people who look like each one of us in this room and not just a certain segment of this state. So I'm asking that you all send me back to Columbia to continue to work for you all, for every person, even if you can't vote for me, for every person in this room, for every kid. Last thing I'm going to say. When I entered Columbia, one of my fights was to ensure that children that go to public schools received breakfast and lunch each day. In this budget, children, every child in South Carolina, the budget that we just passed, because of my fight, our children will be fed, every child in South Carolina, regardless of their ability to pay or not pay. Thank you all.
And we now have District 47 candidate Peter Martinez.
Good morning, my name is Pete Martinez. I'm running for 47 as a veteran, a neighbor, a father of 3, and a husband to a wife that has way too many critters. I just want to say it's been too long South Carolina has had representation in the House that doesn't look like the state. It's time for everyone to have that choice, and no open ballots, no open seats, no unaccountable politicians. Like I said.
Short and sweet, thank you. We now have candidate Heather Hart.
Before I introduce myself too much, I just want to say thank you to Mallory and to Monika who asked repeatedly that I run against Jackie. So we are here to flip District 66. I'm Heather Hart, and I'm running for South Carolina State House District 66 because I believe that a government of the people and by the people should work for the people. I believe elected officials are public servants meant to support public good, not spread division. I'm running because we, the people, want quality schools where students can thrive. We want educational opportunities that serve a wide range of needs, not bills that threaten funding for diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. I'm running because we want safe communities, both in our neighborhoods and online. We want sensible protections on social media. I have 2 teenagers. We want predators caught and prosecuted. We want our kids to be safe. I'm running because we want an affordable cost of living where our utilities don't price gouge us, our health care doesn't bankrupt us, and child care is actually accessible. I'm running because the Republican supermajority is super preoccupied with clickbait bills. Instead of addressing the concerns in our neighborhoods, they have spent their time absorbed in legislation that aims to divide us rather than unite us. I'm running because reasonable people are tired of buzzwords. We want a real discussion of ideas, real policies that make our communities better. We want public servants who care about all of their constituents and stand up and fight for them in Columbia. I'm Heather Hart. I'm running for District 66. You are the dream team. Let's go.
And candidate Jenny Desch.
If Alex is in the room, he knows that 2 minutes is never enough time for me to talk. My name is Jenny Desch, and I've been asked to run in District 26. I am a prosecutor and have been for 25 years. When I hear the passion of Dr. Annie Andrews about the medical field, I am equally passionate about the criminal justice field. We see way too much politicians stepping up and saying, I have a solution to a problem, but they don't know what the problem is. For 15 years, I have been writing to them every time a friend or a colleague of mine gets elected. They ask me, what can we do to help? And I spend time and effort and write it out. And every single time, and most recently, I was receiving emails that were deleted without even being read. I have specialized in domestic violence that has mental health, that has victims of trauma. I specialize in Special Victims Unit and have so. I have spent my time working for other people. I believe that when I grew up, it was children are to be seen and not heard. I also grew up with government should be heard but not seen. For the last decade, we've heard people put themselves out there and say, what can the government do for me? Instead of what can I do for them? I have not been in a position to run because when you are a prosecutor, you cannot hold dual offices. Winning means I can no longer be a prosecutor. But at this point, what we have seen going on nationally, locally, and in Columbia, it is time to step up and take the big risk, which is standing up for the people, the victims, and putting down these bills that are clearly performative and do not help our children, filling in the time that we can take the loopholes. When you have mental health issues, there are no longer resources to get help. It is jail or street. And when something bad happens, the politicians step up and say, why didn't the criminal justice system do more? Now's the time to do it. I have a unique perspective, and I want to go to Columbia and really fill in what we need as a society, what we need, the voice we have. I am Jenny Desch. I am running for 26. I will announce next week, and I appreciate your time.
And as a political science professor, I do feel obligated to point out that South Carolina is 49th in the percentage of state legislators who are women. So some of you have a chance to do something about that. And now I'd like to call Representative King back to the podium to introduce our keynote speaker.
Listen, y'all, I'm supposed to know my colleague, but he's written up some stuff for me to say, but he's just a great guy. South Carolina State Representative of District 15, which represents is Goose Creek and North Charleston. My colleague Jay Moore is a community engagement and business development leader. He's one of our co-chairs. Subcommittee chairs, we don't have many Democrats that actually chair or subcommittee chairs in the General Assembly. And that only comes with great leadership as well as being one of our senior members. I know he's written down some stuff. J.A. fights every day at the state capitol. He stood up this week and went toe-to-toe with some folk in reference to the budget. But something notable about J.A. is that he has some history, some rich history that I remember just because I was one of the legislators who had the opportunity to vote to take down the Confederate flag. Well, his sister was one of those people that were murdered. And so we honor her today as well as the rest of your family. But J.A. has been a light to South Carolina General Assembly. He's fought on the same issues that I fought on in reference to women's rights, as reference to schools, public education. He fights every day for public education. He believes in the democratic values. And so I know y'all want to hear what he has to say, so I'm going to step out of the way and I welcome you to York County and to South Carolina House District 49. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I normally, when I give speeches, I normally just speak, I wing it. But I thought today was important for me to write some words down. So if I look down, it's not out of disrespect, it's out of love. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. I want to first thank the York County Democratic Party for inviting me today to say just a few words. And I don't know if the pastor's in the room or not. I think I saw him. I want to thank him so much for allowing us to be in this space. It's always good to be in the house of the Lord, even if it's just for one more time. Amen? Don't clap for that. See, churches like this are more than just buildings. They're places where we gather, we organize, we prepare to fight. They're places that encourage and strengthen us, and it helps us to lift up our voices. It's places where the justice and the freedom movement started. First, I got to make sure I don't see Chairwoman Jackson right now, but I want to thank Nikita for inviting me and my dear friend, Ryan Stevens, and all of the leadership team here in York County. But see, I got to give a special thanks to my brother, John Richard King. See, y'all know John. And see, John asked me to speak today, but John told me I was going to speak today. And the reason why you do things when John asks you to do it is not because he asked you, it's because John is a leader amongst leaders in Columbia. Y'all give it up for that. See, John fights the good fight for all of us. And oftentimes when we need a voice, when we need a leader in Columbia, you can count on John Richard King. See, John is a fighter. And see, York County Democrats, in this moment, we need fighters. We need fighters in this moment. Because see, we have an unstable, an unserious, an unreasonable majority Republicans at the State House right now, and we need fighters. See, for too long in this state, for over almost 30 years, almost all of my life, we've had one political party running everything. And our roads, and our bridges, and our education system. The cost of living is up. We need fighters in Columbia right now, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. And we need all of y'all to fight. Will y'all fight with me? I said, will y'all fight with me? See, Democrats, right now, we don't have time to be sitting down in our chairs. We need to be up fighting. Will y'all stand with me? I said, York County Democrats, will y'all stand up with me? We have to fight right now for our very lives, York Democrats. See, we have, in Washington, D.C., we have a clown in the White House. He went from bombing fishing boats in Venezuela to now we're on a full-blown war in Iran. We have to fight, Democrats. And see, on my way here from Charleston, we're seeing the impact of this war, and we're talking about soldiers' lives have been lost. Innocent children's lives have been lost. I was pumping my gas. We see the cost of gas is going up, Democrats. We have to fight, Democrats. We don't have time to be tired. We don't have time to be worried. We have to fight, Democrats. This is our moment. This is our time. We have young people in the room. We have to fight for the young kids in the room, Democrats. We can't say we're going to wait till next election. I need everyone engaged, Democrats. Are y'all ready to fight with me? I don't think I heard that, so y'all ready to fight with me, Democrats? This is our moment, Democrats, and we don't have time to wait. I need y'all to stand up again and fight again. This is the time, Democrats. This is our moment. See, I drove over 200 miles to be here, Democrats, because we are not giving up, not this time, not next time, not any time. This is our moment. And see, this moment is important. I'm going to tell a quick story. I was thinking about my way here. My father is from rural South Carolina, a little town called Hampton. My father at the age of 14, it was 1944. My father left rural South Carolina to fight in World War II. And I always wondered why. Why at 14 years old he had to change his age, but then you could do it. He had to be 16 in order to join. But why would he do it? 14-year-old kid, why would he leave his home? And when I realized just on my way here is that sometimes we have to fight for our freedom. And see, for him, it wasn't some idealistic moment. It was real. See, he was a 14-year-old kid in rural South Carolina. He was a black boy. Well, the only way he could find freedom was he had to fight for it. He had to go to war for it. And Democrats, in this moment, we have to fight again for our freedom, Democrats. We've been under full control by Republicans in this state for way too long. And don't tell me this is not the year to elect a Democratic governor in this state, Democrats. Don't tell me we can't do it in this moment. You can say whatever you think, but I'm going to tell you one thing. Mullins McLeod is a fighter. He's a fighter because he fought for my family in the Mother Emanuel church shooting. We need fighters, Democrats. Yes. And I tell you one thing, John King is a fighter. But this moment is important. I'm not running for office in this area. I ain't running for statewide office. Why am I here? Because it's important for all of us to get in the fight. All of us must fight in this moment. So Democrats, the only thing I got to say, and let's not waste this moment. My dad was 14 years old, a child in a segregated South. He was scared, but he fought. At 14 years old, he fought. He lived until 82, and he fought his entire life. He started NAACP in Hampton County in the 1960s. And I was looking through his papers, and I found this old ledger. In this old tattered ledger, 62 times he wrote, "I am not nervous." Even though his house was being threatened to be bombed, they burnt crosses in his yard, he wrote it 62 times. "I am not nervous." He fought a good fight all of his life. All of his life. 3 years after he died, his daughter, my sister, was murdered by white supremacy in a church. The fight never ends. The movement is not a destination, it's a movement. And it requires all of us to get involved. I was privileged, and this will be my end. I was privileged 3 days after New Year's to be in Chicago. It was cold, 17 degrees. That's cold, y'all. 17 degrees, I'm in Chicago. I got invited by Congressman Jonathan Jackson to come to his home to visit his father. I walked into his son's house, Reverend Jackson's house, and there was a man that taught me that I am somebody. There was a man that taught all of us to keep hope alive, to never surrender, and he laid there in a hospital bed, no longer could speak, no longer could talk, no longer could walk, yet still, he was fighting. He was fighting. And so Democrats, I'll leave you with this. We have to keep fighting. And how y'all feel now? I know I can speak. I know I'm a good speaker. But how y'all feel now, in this moment, is how y'all need to feel in November. So we need to get up off our feet, Democrats. Get up on your feet, Democrats. We have some work to do.
Thank y'all so much. God bless y'all. We got to fight, y'all.
Thank you very much, Representative. I'm kind of scared to take the mic back after that. I would like to, we have another candidate who just arrived. I'd like to welcome U.S. Senate candidate Brandon Brown to the mic for his 2 minutes of campaign speech.
Good afternoon. Fellow Democrats, it is our season. It's our season to take this state back. I am so proud to be here today. I'm proud to stand up for the students at Clinton College and Winthrop University. I'm proud to stand up and take on this giant that has done nothing for South Carolina called Lindsey Graham. We cannot afford to sit down. Jesse Jackson said, I am somebody. Keep hope alive. And as Brandon Brown, I am here to tell you it is our time to vote, to energize, inspire, and get out and have the courage to say we are not going to let anybody turn us around. I am so proud of the work my friend John King is doing. I'm so proud of Representative Moore, and I'm proud of the other legislative officials that have endorsed this generational campaign of fighting for South Carolinians, fighting for the poor people in Oconee County, fighting for the poor people in Allendale, and fighting because we believe that we have compassion. I don't know that book they say on the other side talking about they're Christians, but it's not Christian to take food off of a table. It's not being a Christian to provide adequate health care for all South Carolinians. You shouldn't worry about your paycheck to get health care. We need somebody fighting for a livable wage. $7.25 is not enough. This is our time, Democrats. The playbook of raising a lot of money, putting it on TV doesn't work. We have to go into these communities that people take for granted. I just left Chester. I just heard from them. I've been across this state in 46 counties, and the message is the same. We need somebody to inspire us to get our people up, organize, and vote. And the playbook that we've been using is lost. It's time that we turn back from Ralph Norman's politics. It's time that we tell Tim Scott to continue growing the conscience. And it's time for us to finally send do-nothing Lindsey Graham home. As I close, I'm a fifth-generation South Carolinian. I've been vice president of 3 colleges. I've been the chief deputy tax commissioner of Chatham County, and my family's in the funeral home business. I dare not want Lindsey Graham's family to call on me for service. But I want you to help me bury Lindsey Graham's political career. Thank you. And let me tell you, Brown will not let you down.
Thank you very much. Are there any other candidates or potential candidates who would like to speak? A couple of event announcements. I saw Brian Ballard earlier. Is Brian, you want to talk about the No Kings event? Come on up here. Brian is the organizer of Rock Hill Rising. If you've been out on Dave Lyle Blvd waving signs on those Saturday afternoons, he's the one who's put all these events together, and he's going to tell us about another one.
As you said, I'm Brian Ballard. I'm an organizer and co-founder at York County Rising. My pronouns are he, him. I want to thank you for allowing me to come up here to tell you about the third No Kings nationwide. Right now, on the map, there are 2,700 events across the country and across the world. It is amazing. I work for Move On. Some of you may have heard of it. Progressive organization. And I get to prep hosts for the first time they are organizing something. It is the neatest thing to hear their stories of why they're doing it. They're not sitting down anymore. It's not just Democrats. It's not just independents. It's not just Republicans. It's everybody across this country who recognizes that we do not have kings in America. So, 2,700 events on the map, but in the pipeline, there are over 4,000 events across this country in the works. So, we're not representing any political party. We are not asking for your donation. We are just asking you to show up. Show up. The experience is electrifying. It is not just a protest. It is our community coming together in what is a festival atmosphere. People are so excited to be in community with each other. We have seen this over and over and over again. Who has been to a No Kings rally? If you didn't raise your hand, you need to come to a No Kings rally. We will be there March 28th from 2 to 4, and maybe a little bit early, maybe a little bit later, because we are so excited. We are so excited to be together and back in community. So, 2 to 4, March 28th, Saturday, March 28th from 2 to 4. Keep an eye on updates from us, York County Rising on Facebook. We also are on Blue Sky. So keep up with what we're doing, because we're doing big things, and we're doing brave things, and we're being bold. Thank you.
There is the Winthrop University College Democrats are doing an event on campus on April 21st. We encourage the public to be there. The Rock Hill and York NAACP will be hosting a forum with York County Sheriff Tony Breeden on Thursday, this coming Thursday, 6 o'clock p.m., Sanctuary of Life Outreach Center, 1071 Finley Road, Rock Hill.
These are all of our unclaimed precincts, y'all. Okay, I don't think I have time to read them out of respect for people's time. If you are super motivated and excited about what you've seen today, please, please, please come talk to me and Mr. Holder at the back of the room and find out if your precinct has been claimed. They're all here.
Are there any other events that anyone would like to announce or publicize?
Hi y'all, I am Marin Pierce, and you may have seen the videos out of Minneapolis of folks getting together singing.
Hold on, hold on.
The singing first started 4 days after the killing of Renee Good.
My dear ones, here comes the dawn.
Some 300 people gathered in a neighborhood to encourage those hiding in homes nearby.
We now have Singing Resistance Rock Hill. We met for the first time last night. We will meet again April 10th at 6:30. Bring a meal to share. We'll meet at Bethel United Methodist Church, if you're familiar with the shelter, the church that's right there. So please come join us, family friendly, sing, have a meal, share some time together.
Thank you. Just making a note. We will try to publicize all this on the York County Democratic Party Facebook page and other media. Anybody else?
If you hadn't had enough of Mr. Mullins McLeod, you can go and spend some more time with him at McGirt Auditorium at 1 p.m. Today he has a meet and greet. So if you want to spend some more time with him to get to know him, to hear more of what he has to offer the state of South Carolina, please stop by his meet and greet at 1 p.m. at McGirt Auditorium. Thank you.
Anything else? Okay.
Yes. Sorry, one quick announcement right here. In the middle of your tables, or passed out, was a QR code for delegates to the state convention. Please, please, please make sure that if you have an interest, you just want to see what it looks like, if you've been there, want to do it again, please scan the QR code and register to be a delegate for York County. We would greatly appreciate to have your presence there so that you can see what it looks like at the state level.
And the state conventions are going to be kind of uneventful this year because we're not electing national convention delegates, we're not electing state party officers, but it's a good time to show up, hear from some potential national candidates, meet Democrats from all over the state, and remind ourselves that we're not alone in this. Thank you. Okay, the information tables, the candidates are over here with information. We have back in the back, Hope Matthews and I will be doing precinct organizer and democracy builders. Amber Bowen will be doing the Save Act information table. Monika White and Nikita Jackson will be doing voter registration, voter education information. Ryan Stevens will be doing vote builder information. And Jaquarius Norman will be doing information for young Dems, that is under 36. They had to cut it off somewhere. Anybody else?
Hi everyone, I am Donna Forrester. I live in Fort Mill, and I didn't expect to speak today, but I realize I have all like-minded people here. We're all living in South Carolina. Fort Mill is on the border. How many of you have heard of Silfab? Okay, Silfab is a heavy industrial Canadian manufacturing company that Ralph Norman and McMaster paved the way. It's all about money. We were told it was going to be assembly and distribution. Last year, we found out it was heavy industrial. Actually, 2 years ago, we went to the zoning board, we spoke, we gave them. Bottom line is we have a problem. So we need everyone to tune into Silfab. We have a lawsuit that the corrupt judges won't even hear. We have a big problem in South Carolina with corruption. So I'm asking all of you, if you're not doing anything, Monday night, York County Council is meeting, and they are the ones that paved the way because Ralph Norman whispered in their ear to say, let it pass. So we're fighting to get our lawsuit heard, and we're gonna have a big protest on Monday with media there. So if you can go to South Congress Street, bring your voices, bring a poster, and let's make some noise to say, we are the people and we don't want heavy industrial in light industrial. Thank you.
If you did not know that we have a YouTube channel, now you know. Gary Pearce is Gary does our YouTube TV show, and he's going to plug it.
Our YouTube channel is YCDP TV on YouTube. It's also YCDP TV on your podcast app, so you can get the audio version. For example, if you haven't been out to one of the No Kings protests, we have coverage of most of them on our YouTube channel. This entire convention will be on the YouTube channel. So I encourage you to subscribe. What do they say as those YouTubers? Like and subscribe and ring the bell so you get notification. And we'll see you on YouTube.
Thanks. Any other business? The chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. Multiple movers and multiple seconds. Those in favor? Those opposed? I'm not going to listen. We're adjourned. Thank you for coming. Let's go Democrats.